to all the people out there in the lands, plural, here and abroad, international. Last time you saw me, I was getting hit on by a toothless crackhead. I did manage to survive that encounter. She came back at about 11 o'clock and knocked on the door again. I resisted all urges. It was not her lucky day, so maybe next time I would love. So yeah, I went to the Buffalo Trace distillery that day. I've noticed the benefits of staying in hotels for at least 2 nights. It means you're not checking out at a 10 or 11, hauling your gear all around just to wait till the next check-in at another place. So that's obviously if you're not travelling for 5 or 6 hours, and I'm pretty much, this is in Kentucky, I was pretty much centrally located for a couple of days, so it wasn't a great deal to do on my schedule. At least I had some high limit races on the Friday and Saturday night, but I pretty much had a lot of time to kill until I came to Ohio. So yeah, back to the Buffalo Trace. I did a tour. There is a couple of different tours you can do. There's one that's called a hard hat tour, which takes you into the factory, the proper distilling area. You get to see all the good bits. That's booked out a fair way in advance. That would have been good to see, but really I just wanted to check out the grounds, the areas, like the whole facility, I guess. So I just did what's like a basic tour. You get to walk around. Yeah, it's probably 10 or 12 people getting led by a lady. Her name is Reagan. Yeah, they leave every 15 minutes, so there is a shitload of people going through every single day. The Buffalo Trace area got flooded a few months back. I think it was in March, I think they said, or May. It wasn't long ago anyway. So the whole gift shop was destroyed. They had to start again. Like the buildings were fine, but just all the internals were screwed. There was a lot of the vats that had to repair or replace. They got water damaged, had to pretty much drain everything and start again. Luckily it didn't reach the a lot of the barrels that weren't affected. They were actually running a lot of the barrels that were touched by water down a little train line, and they were pressure washing externally before they put them back into storage. Anyway, so there was you can see the high tide line around the grounds a lot, so that was pretty interesting to know how much water actually went through there a few months ago. They have like every million barrels that they produce, they put aside and they age it, and then they donate it to charity, which I think is really cool. So they had a label there, like the barrels, I should say, the lids, I guess, of each million barrel. So they were just approaching the 9 millionth barrel that's come out of the Buffalo Trace distillery. It was cool to see all the storage areas and all that. Then I've also been trying to eat a lot better food, in terms of not just going to takeaways, just going into a restaurant and sitting down and ordering something that's actually edible, having a good variety of real foods. I've been missing that a lot too. So then I ventured onto the high limit race at Florence, Kentucky. Once again, it was a late model dominated area. The crowds were sort of down, camping was definitely down. I've met a couple of new pals, Justin, and we hung out having beers, having a good time. Went up to the races. It was once again ridiculously hot. Like, it's ridiculously hot. It was about 35 degrees or thereabouts. Always so hot every time we go to the track. I'll normally wait till after hot laps before you head up to actually watch the cars go around, because you're sitting up there in the stands. I'd rather be sitting back in the shade drinking beers until I really have to go up and sit and watch the racing. So yeah, late model dominated area. I think it was a pretty new track for 410s. Pretty good race. They had 6 beers for $15. I had a bit of a tactic with that. So you go up to the bar, you order your You order your 6 beers and they give you like a plastic bag. They put 2 scoops of ice in, and that's meant to be your cooler. You're not allowed to take proper coolers into the stands. So by the time you drink 3 beers, the ice is gone, and the remaining 3 aren't really drinkable. They're warm. So I had a tactic. You go and buy another 6 beers for $15, and then I was just taking the warm beers back to my cooler to have for the next day. So that was a pretty entertaining night. Went back to the pit area to see what was happening over there. Late models were on as well. They took all night to race. I met a couple of locals from the late model world. I think it was William, that was a car owner. I can't remember what the driver's name, but I remember chatting to Cameron, I think it was. We got chatting about Buffalo Trace and just different bourbons, so that was an entertaining chat. A lot of the sprint car guys are pissed off to their hotels to come back the next night. The next night, we got rained out. So sitting around having a few beers around 1 or 2 o'clock, and it just torrential downpour, ridiculous rain, hard and fast, and pretty much wrote the track off. So they called it pretty early. That was on the Saturday. So I went to a hotel to watch the NASCAR race at Sonoma. That was the one that Shane Van Gisbergen was trailing Connor Zilic and pretty much pushed him across the line in the Xfinity Series. That was a good race. Didn't do much else the next day. Went to an Indian joint. Had some good food again. So much food for $15. Checked out the area of, I think that was Cincinnati, maybe. And yeah, I stayed in the hotel room the second night. So a couple of good relaxing days before coming to Ohio for a massive week. So Monday night we had high limit at Fremont Speedway. That was really entertaining. Ohio fans are passionate. I'm starting to see more and more Australians. You're converging all at the same area for Kings Royal Week. Converging, big word. That was the race that Cole Macedo won and flipped his dick off after the line. Managed to get in the victory lane photos for that, so that was a bit of a novelty, I guess. The next night we went to Attica Speedway for an outlaw race. That was the Brad Doty Challenge, or Classic, sorry, whichever one it is. Brad Doty something or other. That was the race where Caleb Henry and Brady Bacon got together and he crashed. He got airlifted out. I haven't heard any recent updates, but I think the last I know he was cleared of any breakages and x-rays were all clear, I think. But yeah, I think they were worried about his neck or back. So they took all the precautions, obviously, but until this point, I think it was just going to be general soreness, like pains, nothing broken, I think. So I'm now here at Eldora. Last night we had night 1 of the high limit, the Joker jackpot. Have I missed anything? Maybe not. Yeah, so here at Eldora, this campground is ridiculous. There is so many people. Thousands of campers, massive RVs. Like, this is the camping that I was looking forward to. This was sort of what Huset's was like, and then I went to a couple of high limit races in late model territory, and the crowds just weren't the same. It is awesome to get here to Eldora, and it's true sprint car fans again. So night 1 had split features. I think it was Reitzel won the first feature and Corey Day won the second. Gio Selzy has only just announced that he is quitting the KCP ride. Interesting fact, this is my hot tip. I reckon he's going to be going to the number 5 Guy Forbrook car, because he was testing with Forbrook and Donny Schatz in that car when I was there at Knoxville. I had a little bit of inside knowledge. The hotel I was staying at, Gio's missus, who is Guy Forbrook's daughter, they were there on a secret testing mission at the hotel, picking up some stuff for that test session in the 5 car, which it ended up coming out in the end anyway that Donnie was in the car too. But yeah, Gio was definitely there testing and helping for Brooke. So that is my hot take. Sitting around here at the moment, a bunch of people playing cornhole. I've got one more night here at Eldora, and then I go to Incarceration Metal Festival. So I'm going to be seeing Amity Affliction, Parkway, Falling in Reverse for the second time this year. That'd be cool. So I'll do that. That's only about a 2-hour drive from here. It wasn't really a tough decision for me to miss out on one night of sprint cars out of the 5 to go to a metal show, and I'll come back here for the King's Royal on Saturday. It's only just down the road a couple of hours, so no big deal there. I'm going to be a broken man come Sunday. I cannot wait to get into an aircon hotel. That is the plan. And that is pretty much wrapping up the journey. Yeah, the next time I put a video out after this, it's probably going to be wrapping up the whole tour. So yeah, nothing too exciting out of this. I haven't got any old